Today I just wanted this video to be just a little chat about what you're going to need to bring for college. I wrote down a list of college essentials and just things that I used all the time in school and just like for my dorm room in general. So I just want to give you guys some tips in case you're heading off to college, and hopefully this video will be helpful. And let's jump into what you need to bring. I definitely recommend you get a 10-foot charger if you're going to be lofting your bed or if there aren't a lot of plugs around, and just in general. For the entire first semester I connected an extension cord to a regular charger and tried to jimmy rig it so it was long enough. I'm like, when I realized that I could have just gotten a 10-foot charger from the very beginning, that would have just made my life so much easier. You're also gonna need a mattress pad. I got mine from Walmart, and let me just say that my bed was the bed that everybody wanted to lay on because it was the most comfortable. Honestly, I thought the beds in the lofts where I stayed at SVU were pretty comfortable, but adding that mattress pad on there, it just changed the game. So I definitely recommend one of those if you want your bed to be the most comfortable. I will link down below the one that I got, and I'll also link my dorm haul from last year, and that has all the stuff that I got, so you can check that out as well if you are looking for some ideas. The next things I want to recommend getting are appliances. So some dorms come with mini fridges. The dorm that I stayed in did not provide those, so I would recommend, if you want to buy any of your own groceries, to get a mini fridge. In our room we had a mini fridge, a toaster, a microwave, blenders, like we had the whole shebang. We used it all the time, so I'd recommend you get one of those if you think you'll be using that a lot. The next thing I would recommend is a full-length mirror. We had one of these in our room. We had it in a spot where all of the roommates could check their outfits in it. Organization baskets and bins are essential. You definitely need those. I got some from Ikea that I really loved. They just worked perfectly for the space that I had to store stuff. Ikea is a good option if you want to go there and find lots of organization things. I would just look at the space provided to you and see what will work best to organize in that space. Next, I would recommend a personal light of some sort. So whether that's something that clips onto your bed or whether it's fairy lights or something like that, I would just recommend you have something that's personal to you, so that if you want to turn on a light but your roommates want to go to sleep, then you can do so. I had fairy lights above my bed that worked perfectly, and I loved the way they look when they were turned on and turned off, and so it just worked really well. My roommate Ashley had this bedside lamp that worked really well for her. She could read. It was just nice. So I just recommend you have something that's like in your control. The next thing I brought that was really useful was a makeup slash hair mirror. I got one from Ikea that I love so much. I'll link it down below. It's like the perfect size for like doing your hair and your makeup, because sometimes the like really small ones you can't really do your hair in those, and so I just love this one. It's like the perfect size, and I definitely recommend it for anyone. But if you have a desk and you're planning to get ready, then I recommend you get a mirror of some kind. One of my roommates my first semester brought a popcorn maker, and this is one of those things where you're like, you don't realize that you need it until you have it, and then you're like, this is amazing. I wouldn't want to do college life without this. We'd have movie nights and make popcorn all the time, and it's just way less expensive than the bags, and you can make it a lot healthier. I don't know. It's just come in handy a ton to just make a ton of popcorn and have a really fun movie night. So I definitely recommend you bring a popcorn maker. Either you or your roommates need to bring a speaker. If you're friends with your roommates, then it'll work for just one person to bring one of these, but if not, then you definitely need to bring your own. And whether you're just hanging out by yourself in your room, just vibing out, just anything, like speakers are gonna come in handy just so you can play music wherever you go. So I would just recommend having a reliable speaker around. Having slip-on shoes of some kind is really useful when you're just walking around your dorm room, maybe going to do laundry or something like that, and just in general for just wearing shoes. But I do recommend you have like some kind of slip-on shoe. I have Birks, and those work perfectly. Things like Crocs or anything of that kind of sort would also work. So yeah, make sure to bring some comfy slide-on shoes. This is another thing that like you don't realize it's an essential until you have it. SVU, where I go, actually provides all of its students with iPads, so I didn't like go out and buy this by myself, but I love using an iPad for school. Honestly, I don't really use my MacBook for school. I type all my papers and do all of my homework on my iPad. So if you're not a YouTuber and you're not planning on doing anything that like necessarily needs the power of a MacBook, I recommend you get an iPad for school. Another thing you're also going to need is a hammock. If you're anywhere with trees, or honestly I feel like anywhere, a hammock would be useful. But in Virginia where I go to school, a hammock just comes in handy for literally so many things. It's awesome to just throw up to do homework, to take a nap. If you want to go camping, having a hammock works perfectly to sleep in, so I definitely recommend bringing a hammock for school. And last but not least, I recommend bringing a bag of medicine with all your medications like NyQuil, acetaminophen, all the things that you're gonna need, cough drops, like all those kinds of things, just so that you have it, because a lot of times you don't really think about that as like a college student. Your mom usually took care of the medicines, but you're on your own now and you're going to need medicine. So I recommend you just get all of those before you go to school so that you're not like having to figure out how to get to the store to get medicine. All right guys, I really hope this video gave you some good ideas for what you need to bring to school. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is @RileyReal. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye guys.